Hey, good morning my friends. Welcome back to the off-grid garage here in sunny and hot Australia. As you can see, I'm wearing my red t-shirt. My good old friend Average Joe has sent this to me. I usually wear this only if something exciting is happening, something important, something dangerous, not right, major fault or major problem. This is exactly what this video is probably about today. Yeah, this is the Basen 12 volt 100 ampere hour battery, lithium iron phosphate, deep cycle rechargeable battery pack. I've tested this battery here around 3-4 years ago, probably 4 years ago or something, and I made 1 or 2 follow-up videos with it as well. We did the usual capacity test and had a look at the BMS via the app and stuff like this. And until recently this battery worked alright. It always had a bit of trouble balancing cell number 1. Even letting the battery sitting on 3.45 volts per cell for 3 weeks it was, the balancer was not able to balance out cell number 1. It was always a lot lower than the other 3 cells in this battery. Yeah, and as you may remember, a couple of videos ago we built a small battery pack for this one here, right? In the ammunition box container. And this was meant to be powering the electric fence energizer in the backyard for the ponies. Well, not for the ponies, against the ponies. Well, turned out this battery lasted only 2 days until I realized the battery is far too small. The energizer doesn't survive overnight and usually turned off at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, the cells and BMS and all the setup works fine, but the capacity is just too small for the electric fence system I have now. And that's why I had to find a different solution to power the energizer. And because the ponies have a small brain, but are still intelligent enough to know when the ticking stops of the energizer, find a spot and then I go through. So, and this was exactly after 2 days. So I replaced this 5-6 ampere hour battery with one of these, yeah? 12 volt 100 ampere hour. So, and I used this battery here and the AO lithium 12 volt 100 ampere hour battery, alternating with the electric fence system over there. Yeah, and each battery lasts about 2.5 weeks and then needs a recharge. Connected the Victron solar charge controller and have this little 40 watt solar panel usually sitting here on the gravel, and it recharges the battery within the next 2 weeks or so. So it is ready to go once the other battery is depleted. And I swapped them back and forth. Yeah, and the last time I picked this one up here, I realized, oh, the sun is coming out. There was a bit of a gap between the actual battery box and the lid. So every morning when I opened the garage, I could see the gap between the lid and the actual battery box being a bit bigger. I mean, I didn't realize every single day, but over time, over a week or so, I could see the gap actually getting larger and larger. And this was a very alarming signal for me, because something was trying to escape the box. And then one morning the whole lid was popped open. And you may have seen this video here 3-4 years ago. I tried to get into the battery to have a look at the cells and BMS and cabling and everything, and was unable because the glue was so strong, yeah? But obviously the battery now sits outside. It is covered with another battery box on top of it, but it gets warm underneath, around 40 degrees if the sun is out like this now. And 40 degrees is only 1-2 hours a day if it is that sunny as today. One more little thing I need to tell you about this battery is, when I got this battery here, it always had this strange smell when I charged it. It is like a sweet smell. And I was always very suspicious that one of the cells has actually a little hole somewhere, an opening, and when it charges, it expands a little bit and pushes a bit of lithium, of goop out of this opening there, of this crack or hole or whatever it is, and this starts smelling outside of the case here. But the battery was performing absolutely fine. Yeah, there was no issue charging, discharging or something. I checked it regularly with the Overkill app and everything, and no problem at all. But this tiny smell was always there. But I mean, you had to, oh yeah, I can still smell it. And from what I read, I think this is a leaked or leaking lithium cell. Yeah, because there was never an issue with this battery. I kept using it, well, until right now. So, of course, we want to have a look at this battery today. What we can see, what we can find. I want to take this battery outside somewhere there on the gravel just in case something happens. And we want to see what is going on. I will take off the terminals first, all this cabling here. The good thing is the BMS is still connected and is still working. So we will have a look with the app first before we move this box and just have a look around and explore if we can see any anomalies with this battery and its 4 cells. So let's do this first. All right, let's open the Overkill Solar app and connect to this battery. Hopefully it still works here. Here at the top, Basen 12 volt 100 ampere hour battery. That's it. And what can we see? 9% state of charge, 13 volts. Looks okay to me. Temperatures are okay. And here we've got all 4 cells. 2, 3, and 4 looking okay. Cell number 1 is a bit low, as I told you. Yeah, that was always the case. Cell number 1 was always a bit low. And I could never balance this battery because this is a shitty BMS anyway in here. Yeah, it's a JBD SP04. It's a 120 amp BMS, but the balancer is only like 50, 60 milliamps, passive balancing, of course. And it has this nasty charge balancer option as well. Yeah, it only balances while charging. If you turn off this function, I'll show you here in the settings quickly. There you can see balance only when charging. Yeah, it's turned off in my case. When you turn this off like this, it balances only if there's no charge current registered, but it never balances while charging if one of the cells is over 3.45 volts, as I have said here in the system. Yeah, so I don't know what's really going on here. Interesting that the total battery capacity is downgraded to 55.9 ampere hours only from 100. Down here are the protection parameters. The over temperature on charging is sitting on 65 degrees, which is far too high. I don't think these lithium iron phosphate batteries are actually designed for that. They can probably take 55, but I've never seen 65 so far. But I don't even know what kind of cells these are. So we have to see if we can actually see anything. Cell under voltage protection, 2.6 volts, recovery at 3 volts again. So this is usually when the BMS turns off, when the electric fence energizer has completely depleted it. And if we go back here into home and go all the way down, we can see the event count down here. Twice discharged to 2.6 volts and then the BMS turned off. And look at here, the BMS has only registered 32 cycles of this battery. So it's actually a pretty new battery for its age, right? Manufactured in October 2021. So it's a bit over 4 years old now. Yeah, but nothing else we can really see here in the BMS at the moment. All right, let me take off these cables here and then we can lift the lid a bit and see what's going on. Better put this battery a bit away from the garage. I know it's lithium iron phosphate, it shouldn't explode or combust or something, but I don't want to do this inside there. So we have to go outside. I'm wearing safety goggles as well. I'll probably put some gloves on as well, but we want to have a look first what's going on. You can still see the Bluetooth module there. And look at all this expansion foam here on top of it. This usually fills the gap between the BMS and the lid. And you potentially can already see what's going on here. Look at this battery pack down there, how bloated it is, right? Especially here on the right hand side. So maybe we can remove this as well. This is just insulation material. This is bent as well. Bluetooth module. Yeah, and especially on this side here. So there is a black insulation material here. This is only glued, I believe. Let me get some tools here to remove the BMS. There you go. Okay, this is all. Oh, I think they have used pouch shells. Look at this aluminium fin situation there. And they have expanded like hell. They might be even lying horizontally. So I'm not sure what happens if I cut this tape here. It looks like one of the pouch shells has expanded like crazy. It looks like there is some other tape underneath here which is holding the pouches together, and this is only an insulation material here for the BMS or something, and this is glued on with additional tape. Oh yeah, there we can see it. Look at this shit. Wow. Oh my god. Let me cut this here as well. Let's see if we can remove this insulation here. What happened to this cell? This is the top cell. Yeah, we get this sweet smell again. This is completely, totally bloated. See, I can push it in a bit. Oh, freaking hell, eh? This one is not holding anything. It's basically these 3 Kapton tapes, which are not expanding much, and they're holding the whole bloated cell together now with all the other ones. There could be 8 cells in there, I don't know. What do we have here? 2041 BSDY IFP 851. From the attached label, can you identify the battery cell this might be?
The attached label suggests that this is a lithium-ion battery pack, and the individual cells within it are likely to be 18,650 size cells or similar Li-ion pouch cells.
Sorry Gemini, but this is completely wrong. This is not a lithium-ion battery. It is definitely a lithium iron phosphate battery. You can see this clearly from the charging and discharging. But interesting that it came up with lithium-ion pouch cells. So it is close, but it is not a 3.6 volt lithium-ion cell. Thankfully not, because this would be really, really dangerous then. Probably shouldn't sit the battery here in full sun either here. I've asked AI again about this label here, and it is pretty sure that this is actually highlighting a lithium-ion cell, but he also says, he or she or it or whatever, also says that lithium iron phosphate is also a lithium-ion type of battery, so they could use this one as a generic sticker for this type of battery. I really want to move it a bit in the shade here. I don't want to have this cushion here in full sun. I really want to poke inside and see what's going on then. But yeah, so I don't know. This is what I have experienced. I don't know what the cause of it is. And it looks like all the other cells are still okay underneath. It's just the one on the top here. So it could have something to do with the heat the battery was exposed to. But as I said, it has another plastic container on top to protect it from rain and sun as well. And I've checked the temperature inside the battery here, and I could see 40, 41, 42 degrees sometimes when it's really hot outside. The whole battery situation sits in the shade up there, but if it gets really hot, we can get over 40 degrees. But this should not cause the battery to swell like this. Yeah, and with the sweet smell I experienced from the beginning with this battery here, it is very likely that this cell had a bit of an issue from the beginning. And maybe the heat now has made it worse, but this is all speculation. We can only speculate. The cell is not warm or hot or something, it's cold. Doesn't smell at anything. This is where the tabs are. You can see 3 cables are connected here to the main negative of the battery pack. So I assume this is not a 4S battery. It's likely a 2P4S battery with 2 50 ampere hour pouches in parallel and then 4 of these pairs in series. I cannot really look further down there. And I don't want to cut this case. I want to dispose this battery, including the case. Yeah, I'll take off the BMS here and I'll cut the balance wires here one after another. Cut these 3, the main positive, and then probably glue the lid on top of it again. Leave this all in there and then bring it to the recycling place. And then they have to deal with it. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below what do you think about this Basen 12 volt 100 ampere hour. So definitely they haven't used prismatic cells back then. These are all pouch cells here put into this plastic case. Something was wrong from the beginning with this one cell on top here, and now probably the exposed heat has made it worse to this state. This is my explanation. But yeah, leave yours down below in the comments. I'm very keen to read. Have you had similar experience like this with pouch cells? That they start expanding like this, maybe because of missing compression. Because where? In the Seplos 300. Yeah, here in the Seplos Polo batteries, these have pouch cells as well. This is a 48 volt system, obviously. It's also a 2P16S pouch cell situation, but all these cells are like in a pack. They are completely compressed inside. I'll link this video down below so you can have a look how this compression looks like. So I always thought these pouch cells, they need some sort of boundaries, compression, or a cage where they are mounted in, because when they expand they start swelling and contracting again, and only a strong metal cage with a good compression will prevent them from going crazy like this in the Basen battery. So it could be actually a manufacturer issue that these cells are not mounted correctly, not installed correctly as per the cell manufacturer specifications. But let me quickly do some research about pouch cells and how they should be installed, and I'll be right back. What does it say here? Your description strongly suggests that the battery pack was poorly designed or cheaply manufactured. In this case, probably both. Because we have seen other lithium iron phosphate batteries from the inside, and they usually use prismatic cells, which then consist of 4 single battery cells in series. And obviously each of these cells is a little bit of a compression in itself already. So yeah, we don't know exactly. There's a bit of speculation going on what's actually happened to this battery and why this has happened. But we do this snip now, and then dispose this battery. I definitely keep it outside of the garage in the shade somewhere until I go to the recycling place again, and then they have to deal with it, because this is what people will have in the future as well. Faulty lithium iron phosphate batteries with these situations, so they have to find a way to get actually rid of them and recycle them. Negative first. Same with the balance cables. I'll leave them a different length so they are not touching each other, making any short. I'll probably put some insulation tape around it anyway. And the positive here, and I cannot probably cut this one here. Need a better tool. Easy. Okay, free the BMS. Okay, I've now separated the BMS from the lid, and we put this insulation material back in. So I'll have a last look at this bloated cell here, because you will never see it again. Oh, this might be even too high already to put the lid back on here. Needs to be this way. Doesn't matter. There you go. Nah, it pops back up. Yep, that is better. I'll put some glue on it as well again to keep it airtight and strong so we can carry it. And that's probably the end of the Basen 12 volt 100 ampere hour battery. So lithium iron phosphate pouch cells. Wow. Can still recycle and reuse this BMS here for another small project we may have in the future. It's not a bad BMS if you combine it with an active balancer. Oh, and look at the temperature sensors. They are not even connected to the cell somewhere, to the battery. They left them as they come from JBD. Wow, Basen, this is very poor manufacturing at its worst. Yeah, my friends, that was the video from today. A bit of a strange one, hence the red t-shirt. So for me personally, it confirms again that building your own battery is always the best and safest option over buying a pre-assembled battery pack. Especially now we have so many manufacturers making these 12 volt 100 ampere hour batteries for years, and they are trying to squeeze every single dollar out of such a battery. And it looks like this Basen battery here was purely manufactured back then. The cells were not compressed or fixed in any way, and the temperature sensors of the BMS were not even connected. So I definitely take off the Basen 12 volt batteries off my website. There are lots of other manufacturers providing a better quality, and we even now have the 12 volt do-it-yourself boxes available, like the do-it-yourself box from Eel, who almost got 5 frogs. The problem is people want to buy cheap, but as per the saying, you get what you're paying for. Thank you so very much for all your support here on the channel. Over 118,000 subscribers to the channel now. This is mind-blowing, unbelievable. Thank you so much for that. Special thanks always goes out to everyone who is donating to the channel, especially all the channel members who are doing this on a monthly recurring base for less than the price of a coffee. Thank you very, very much for that. But liking these videos and leaving a nice comment helps as well. So as always, a big thank you to all my viewers. Alright my friends, until the next video when we do something more positive hopefully. I think there is the new JKBMS version 19.21 waiting, but I'm still waiting for some replies from Gkong about some of the features they have implemented now. So as soon as they pop in, I start the video here. But there's also a lot of other interesting things here to explore and share here on the channel. So we will not run out of content here ever. Alright my friends, until the next time, you stay charged, stay safe with your batteries. And thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye. Basen.